Are our food safe?
In Lonavala. When I had been there, everyone recommended that I should go ahead and have missile pav in a particular store. When I reached that store, I was able to see that there was a huge, long queue. At least 20 people were standing in the queue. Out of curiosity, I just wanted to go ahead and peep into the kadai what he was making. When I just peeped in, I saw something, a dark black liquid in the kadai, and people were happily taking their pav and consuming it. I never tasted even water in that store after seeing the oil in that color. Being sitting in one of the jaggery belts, because this Mandya belt is the jaggery belt, and the jaggery produced in South is known for adulteration.
Okay.
At least even the association says that 90% of the jaggery produced in this region is adulterated by one way or the other.
Welcome to OncoFlex podcast. I'm Dr. Lohit Reddy.
And I'm Dr. Kritika.
Today we have with us Mr. Prakash, who is an organic farmer, an author, and a consultant. So today we're going to talk about the invisible poisons on our plate. Packaged foods and preservatives impact our quality of life. And today with us to discuss in detail about the impact into our metabolism and the cancer risk, we have an expert with Mr. Prakash. Welcome to our show, sir.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, Kritika. Thanks for having me on this show.
So, what kind of packaging materials are used in our regular foods, and are our foods safe?
See, before getting into the packaging material, I would like to share with you an incident. This happened at least a decade and a half back in Lonavala. That was the first time that I visited Lonavala. When I had been there, everyone recommended that I should go ahead and have missile pav in a particular store. I was so curious because at least 10 people would have recommended me that you should go ahead and have missile pav in that store. I'm not a great fan of vada pav itself, but having received the suggestion from over 10 people, I decided to go to that store. When I reached that store, I was able to see that there was a huge, long queue. At least 20 people were standing in the queue. Out of curiosity, I just wanted to go ahead and peep into the kadai what he was making. When I just peeped in, I saw something, a dark black liquid in the kadai, and people were happily taking their pav and consuming it. I never tasted even water in that store after seeing the oil in that color. Today, what is happening is that consumers, they get moved with multiple things. For example, if you ask me, is jaggery is good or sugar is good? Or if I ask this question to a common man on the road, given the kind of communications what the media has given or what they would have read in WhatsApp, they would say that jaggery is good.
Yes.
Correct.
At the end of the day, a glycemic index of jaggery is higher than a glycemic index of sugar. A jaggery is good because of its nutritional value and not because it is good for diabetes.
And it's not processed.
That's another big question. Being sitting in one of the jaggery belts, because this Mandya belt is the jaggery belt, and the jaggery produced in South is known for adulteration.
Okay.
At least even the association says that 90% of the jaggery produced in this region is adulterated by one way or the other. So what is non-processed, whether jaggery is good or bad, I would say that there are two sides to a coin. So first of all, everything needs to be in moderation. Second one is that you need to then know that what will suit for your body. So and before we started this, I was just checking with you, how many times do any of us order food on Swiggy?
Yeah, almost all the time. Yeah.
Or any of the food delivery app
Any of
for
the
that
food
matter.
delivery.
Have we ever went ahead and checked the kitchen from the place where we are getting our food, or the packaging material what they have used in terms of supplying that food for us? In the FMCG space, I would say that packaging material is at least something which is safe.
Safe.
not in terms of okay, I will get cancerous, it is cancerous, or cancer will spread because of the plastic over there. There are two sides to a coin. Yes, you can't keep hot food in a plastic,
Right.
but
Microplastics.
and there are also different grades of plastics which are available.
So is there a grading used for these packaging materials?
Yeah.
When
So
it comes
there,
to
there
food?
are now, I think it is a more standardized one where you don't need to be worried about okay, is the pack in which I am getting is extremely safe or unsafe, or what is going to be. At least recently, I would say that a few months back, I was in fact interviewing a person regarding certain plastic usage. That person's father was a general manager in a plastic industry, and almost all the cutleries in her home was plastic. Just few weeks before I interviewed her, she came across an Instagram post that using plastic is cancerous, and she stopped almost using any single plastic at her home. Was just thrown out. Everything was replaced by stainless steel.
Right.
There are, I would not say that okay, plastic is good or plastic is bad. There are certain ways in which plastic can be recycled.
Yes. There is
Not
food grading also.
not all plastic are going to cause you harm, but if you are going to store steaming hot water in plastic container and going to consume it, that is your stupidity.
Right.
At the end of the day, a consumer should know what they are eating. The biggest problem what I see with the consumer is that they don't know what they are eating. Hardly 1 or 2% of the consumers would be reading through the ingredients what they are consuming.
Maybe even
Most
lesser.
of them don't even know what they are consuming.
Right.
Whether they are consuming a dairy paneer, whether they are consuming, and synthetic paneer is also a big question mark
So there is
nowadays.
something called a synthetic paneer as well.
Yeah, which is made out of the oil fat.
Right.
The normal paneer is made out of dairy milk fat. This is made of oil fat.
And you can't make out the difference. Right?
You can make out the difference
If you're
if you
aware
are a
of it.
regular paneer eater. You can just put it in your mouth itself and you can know that the chewiness, the dairy taste will not be there. But what happens is that when you actually marinate that in your food, sometimes
Right.
if you are not well versed with paneer, you might end up consuming a synthetic paneer.
True. This exactly, it points us towards the next question. So the question here is, how is it really possible to sell a chips packet at, let's say, 5 rupees? Now, same holds true with paneer also. When we talk of milk-based products, the amount of cost, it should be least charged to even make it break even. To make a paneer product.
See, a 5 rupee chip is 100% possible. If you look at the grammage of a chip or wafers, whatever you call it, if you look at the grammage, you can very much do it at 5 rupee. Because a kg of potato is going to be what at a retail price itself is somewhere between 25 to 40 rupees depending on which region. In certain regions it is 16 rupees, in certain region it will be around 45-50 rupees, but that depends on which part of India you belong to. But on an average, if you take about 25 to 35 or 40 per kg, a 5 rupee chip, if you ever looked at the grammage, you will know that it is filled with nitrogen and less number of pieces.
Right.
So chip is definitely possible, but the question what people need to ask is that how many times the oil is used for frying these chips.
Right.
Yes, there are companies which actually filter the oil, reprocess it in such a way, but a cooking oil once heated is not supposed to be reheated. But if you are going to go in that fashion, it is not possible at that range. But also at the same time, I have seen a chicky, a normal chicky, which is made of liquid glucose and sugar and jaggery. Some of them claim that it has got only jaggery. My biggest concern is that what jaggery are you using? Are you using an adulterated jaggery, an unadulterated jaggery? Are you using a palm jaggery? What jaggery are you using? A consumer just sees that yes, they use jaggery, because being an organic farmer, I have seen how an honey can be adulterated at the honeybee collection level itself.
At collection level.
At collection level itself. See, generally what happens is that honeybee goes out of its nest and travels around around 2 to 4 kilometers in the surrounding for it to go ahead and find nectar. In the in the earlier days, what used to happen is that people used to keep sugar water for during the rainy season. During the monsoon, what happens is that the honeybee will lose its path. It will not be in a position to go correctly and come back. So during those times, people used to keep a cup of water mixed with sugar. Today, most of the beekeepers just keep sugar water. So your honey is produced from sugar water. When you test the honey, you will 100% I can say that it is not adulterated, but it has got a lot of sugar content, because with the place where honey bee are feeding itself is only sugar.
Right.
So when I can actually change my entire cycle of adulteration in jaggery, the chemicals, the processing, it's very, very different. Your jaggery is available at what, 50 rupees a kg, and some jaggeries are available at 200 rupees a kg also. So you need to know that why something is available at a 40, 50, or why something is available at 200. So I would say that your ingredients matter.
But do these jaggeries where you get it for 200 per kg genuine? And how do we find that out?
That is something you need to know from where you are picking it up. At times, over there also certain things can happen.
Right.
Because I have seen in certain places where a contract manufacturer, just to improve his gross margin, do certain things which might not be known to the company which has actually given the contract manufacturer what to be done. Because though you have a number of quality checks, people still find a way to fool around the system.
Right. No, but see, generally when we speak of this food industries or packaged food, so when we speak of the costing, we always say when you mass produce it, this is definitely possible, bringing the rate down. But my question is, are we doing more to make sure that the profit margin is more, and the quality of the products
at
going
the
inside?
end of the day, any company would have a certain set of quality standards, and I belong to the school of thought, you don't run a charity when it comes to business.
Right.
At the end of the day, you need to make profit so that you don't undercut in any means. So there needs to be a genuine profit which you can make from anything for you to sustain, for you to invest, for you to innovate. But having said that, not everything or everyone does the same practice. Yes, there are loopholes. Yes, there are certain peoples who don't follow the norms, but at the same time, 90% of the people still follow the norms. But having said that, at what rate you are getting the product is something extremely critical. See, for example, a few days back, I saw a Cadbury product being shown in LinkedIn, saying that one pack is having a different calorie level, another pack is having a different calorie level. Guys, you need to understand that the chocolate prices, the cocoa prices was impacted because of the impact what happened in Ghana last year. And most of the chocolate companies were struggling to keep the prices at the same level.
Right.
The only way that they can do is that reduce the grammage and to provide you at the same level.
Right.
So when you reduce the grammage, your calorie of your product will also go down. So, but people say that no, it is a 10 rupee product. In this, the calorie is different. In that, the calorie is done. The grammage is different. Yes, the grammage will be different because you are supposed to read what you are consuming every day.
When you say grammage, what do you mean?
If for example, if it is a 15 gram, could be a 13 gram.
Right.
Or the most important thing, or something which I have also written about, is your ORS drink. Not all the ORS drink that we see in the market is ORS.
Yeah. Recently, somebody had raised a concern regarding that.
This has been going on for ages.
Yeah.
But it's only the pharma companies who are doing that.
The composition.
You can just write in a very fine print that, okay, this is not a replacement for ORS. A common man will never read it. My biggest submission would be that, guys, before questioning anyone else, just ask yourself, are you doing the right thing?
Right.
Are you reading the packs from which you are consuming? do you know what you are eating? The biggest profession in India is doctor profession. Today I say something to you, doctor, this is something that I have tried. Just because you are a doctor, you might logically think, should I follow or not follow? But I can go ahead and convince someone else saying that it worked for me, it will work for you. My metabolism system is different from your metabolism system. My eating habit is different from your eating habit. My sleeping habit and my daily exercise schedules could be different from another. What works for me need not work for others.
True.
But that is a simple thing that none of us follow. If something has worked for me, I will recommend to others without even knowing what is the problem that they are facing, how it will be going to fit into their lifestyle, nothing. So my submission would be that as a consumer, the responsibility starts with us in terms of reading the pack first and reading what we are eating.
So which commonest foods we eat regularly are the most adulterated right now?
See, starting from a simple apple that you pick on the road is adulterated with wax. The banana that you pick from any store is being treated with chemicals to ripen, to unripe it. All those things are done to delay the ripening process, to increase the ripening process. If you go ahead and pick it in a very good store, also at times you might find chemicals sticking on a banana. People, I don't know how many people would know that an apple that you eat might be 1.5 years old also.
Oh, really?
1.5 year old.
Because it comes from the cold supply chain, it gets stocked, it slowly gets released into the market, and then on top of it there is this waxing which is happening on top of it. So how do I say, adulteration is part of our life.
So how long can a non-adulterated apple thrive?
See, if you pick the apple and you do nothing and you keep it, generally it will just decay in 5-6 days if you don't have a cold supply chain and all those things.
So, but with the cold supply chain, with all this adulteration, you're telling me that the apple.
See, adulteration is the last part. The cold supply chain at least ensures that the farmer gets the good yield, good money for his produce.
Yeah, right.
That is so. But
so that is an okayish form?
Yeah, but yeah, it's okayish form. But I'm asking this question: how many of us would know that some of the apples that we consume are 1.5 years old?
We may not.
No way.
Absolutely no way.
So how a mango is getting ripened? How certain fruits ripening process is delayed? How much chemical treatment happens on a cauliflower? Forget about getting into the packaged food, where you have so many norms, certain things which have been there. There are certain things which come, which appeals to us. Sometimes if you pick a grape and put it in your mouth just at a store without washing, the probability of you having a throat infection is high. Because the amount of chemicals which is sitting on it without washing, or sometimes without washing with salt, can also create a throat infection. So if you ask me adulteration on packaged food, I will say that adulteration is there everywhere. Packaged food would be last one where adulteration will be on the higher side. But starting from the vegetables that you pick, what you pick in the market is there. See, a few weeks back, I was speaking with a onion vendor, street side onion vendor. Onion was picked at about 2 rupee, 3 rupee from a farmer. Because an onion is available at 6 kilos for 100 rupees in the trucks in Bangalore. If the onion can travel from Nashik to Bangalore and is being sold in a Bangalore for about 16 rupees a kg, just think that what is the logistics cost involved, how many people are taking, and what will the farmer get in the middle. So the farmer will obviously say that, oops, for me to get a bigger yield, I need to add more chemicals. Without even knowing, because the farmer doesn't use the word chemical, he uses the word medicines. Whichever part of India you go to, a farmer uses the word medicine. In Tamil Nadu, I've seen that people say the word like marundu kudunga, I wanted to increase the produce of my onion. And one of my neighbors this time, who uses herbicides to control the weeds in his farm while planting onions, this time, in spite of using herbicides, the weeds was way too high. Because after a point in time, the DNA of the grass will know what is the chemical that you are using. Over a period of time, it will also know how to sustain that.
It's evolution.
So that's how we are also evolved. Sometimes when you are using 100% pure food and all of a sudden some adulterated food gets into your body will act crazy because we are used to adulterated food.
Right. So adulteration is there everywhere.
Adulteration is there everywhere. It is up to you to see that how you can reduce adulteration. And one other way is that the very sad part is also that the moment when you say that okay, it is organic or natural stuff, people tend to charge more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is also another problem because I would say that not in terms of how the produce is being done. Yes, there will be a little bit of difference in terms of the production cost, but the supply demand on the market side is extremely
It's
different.
more of a branding kind of.
It's more of if 10 people want a particular product and I have only a limited supply with me, I would obviously charge it high.
Right. So what happens after the expiry date? Do the products go into proper disposal? Let's say a supermarket is there.
See, for example, if it is an expired product, the FMCG companies pick it up
Okay.
and they dispose it in a most ethical way.
Right.
But see, today, for example, you go to the
Supermarket.
not supermarket, you go to a vegetable market itself. You will find that there are tomatoes which has been
spoiled
sold to
tomatoes.
you at a particular rate.
Correct.
There are certain tomatoes which are broken,
Correct.
which are actually picked by the hoteliers.
Right.
And that tomato rate is different and this tomato rate is different. If a tomato breaks, and you can immediately find that fungus formation,
The green color one.
the white
Blackish,
color, black
whitish.
color, it will be on the tomato. And that's why I asked with the first question, how many times do you order in Swiggy? Do you know that the tomatoes that go into your food is proper tomato or broken tomatoes?
So the reason why they buy that is because when it comes to hotels, there is mass consumption, so they will be able to use it quicker than a.
It's again profit.
See, they will be able to use it quicker. That is point number one. Second one is that you will get at what?
Rate.
1/5 of the rate or 1/4 of the rate of what you are paying.
Right.
So the question right now, a simple one, is that you answered it. It is profit. It is getting consumed the same day. Just because it is consumed in the same day, will you eat a rotten tomato?
We don't.
Will you eat a split tomato by mistake? For example, you pick it in a supermarket.
Never.
We still
By
don't
mistake,
cook it at home.
you drop it. It splits. Do you carry the split tomato home or you silently place it on the racks?
Yeah, exactly.
99.9% of the consumer place it on the rack without even informing that store that it has happened. Or another thing that I have noticed is also the pomegranates. When they are picking pomegranates, they squeeze it to see that if it is good. By the way they squeeze it also, some pomegranates get damaged.
Right.
At the end of the day, once it starts, the decaying process starts inside, nothing can be done. Someone will be picked that rotten pomegranate home.
But there's a lot of talk about artificial coloring as well. How does it, work in profit making, and is it only the
See, genuine guys typically don't use this artificial colors, but they use, for example, a Guntur chili mixed with a Badige chili, because a Badige chili gives you that color, Guntur chili gives you that spice. But some of the players will also do it in such a way that they will add more stems rather than the chilies, because the chili stems is not an adulteration.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it will help them to improve their profitability.
Right. So when it comes to chili powder.
Yeah, but there are also players who have used colors and been caught by the regulators.
Right.
But people need to know that what is the difference between hand pounded chili and a normal chili.
Right.
Why someone should use a hand pounded chili or a normal chili? If you ask this question, people might not know, because chili has also got essential oils in them. When it comes through that heating process, that oil evaporates. Some of that medicinal properties of the chili goes off during the normal processing. That's why people call about hand pounded chili as being superior.
superior?
But Do consumer know this? I really doubt. What percentage of consumers really know about the chili, how it is being done? Because in chili also, fumigation plays an important role. Because starting from chili production, if you have been to farm, there is a white fly which is being attracted towards this chili plants. The white flies is something which will come and sit on the leaves, first at the bottom, then on the top of the leaves. Once it comes on to the leaves, it will not allow the chili plant to grow. How many of them will be using a natural insect repellent to actually shoo away these insects, or how many of them will be using a chemical to shoo away this starts over there?
I think
Yeah.
90% will use, chemicals.
Chemicals.
Because even in one of your shows I have heard
Yeah.
that someone who is a pomegranate farmer,
Yeah.
who uses chemical to the fullest,
Right.
suffered from cancer, because all the days he was actually spraying only on the fruits which he was selling, and he was careful. The moment when it got reversed to him, he started thinking that, oops, what is happening to me?
Exactly.
So starting from there, and if you see that in a Bangalore kind of a climate, you will find the moles forming on chili if you don't expose it to the sunlight. So you either do an infrared treatment in terms of ensuring that the mole formation is not happening, or you use fumigation.
Right.
But the question is that for how many days? Because generally there is a norm. For example, even in the tender coconut what we drink, farmers use a chemical called malathion.
Is
But
it?
once they use malathion, you are not supposed to pick a tender coconut for 30 days
Right.
for that chemical to have
Dissipate.
that less impact on the tender coconut. I will pour malathion today, and day after tomorrow I might actually cut the tender coconuts as a
Nobody
farmer,
can make it out.
because the farmer doesn't know this.
So this is used as a insecticide and a
Insecticide.
pesticide. Okay.
So it
Okay.
is used as an insecticide.
Okay.
So yes, there are norms saying that, okay, if you do XYZ fumigation, you should not grind that chili for X number of days.
Right.
Yes, there are organizations which follow this. Most of the organization follow it, but you don't know what happens at times.
Right. So when we are speaking of this food coloring, yes, two things come to my mind. One is the artificial, food colors that we use in our food, and the other one is, let's say, to make the carrots
So
look
do you
better.
use kesari bath? Do you eat
Yeah,
kesari
yeah.
bath at store?
Yeah.
Definitely.
In
Yeah.
hotels you use it.
Yes.
How many of them use kesar?
They use that yellow coloring or orange coloring commonly.
Have you ever said that, no, I don't want this, I want only the ones with kesar?
Not really. So is that food safe? The food coloring that we use.
See, food coloring is artificial. At the end of the day, they say that it is safe. It has gone through certain tests.
Right.
It has not caused any harmful. There is no research which found that it has got an harmful effect.
Right. Right. Okay.
I don't personally consume, or I don't personally recommend food colorings.
Right. But how strict are these quality checks when it comes to food? Let's say a packet is coming out
No,
to the shelf.
any company which does a proper check, I would say that 99.9%, because this is the same country in which where we have had incidents where Cadbury had worms in their
Right.
chocolates. After that, yes, they did found, yes, how this worms come in, because it might not happen at a factory level, it might happen outside also.
Even
Then
before,
that
yeah.
sterile packing, the wrapping and everything changed. So when it happens in a large sector, yes, people immediately take actions in terms of I would say that the sanctity of the food is being preserved.
Right.
But there are gaps everywhere.
Right. Let's say a chili powder packet. It is manufactured, it is packaged, it is coming to a shelf in some supermarket. Now, before this comes to that shelf, what kind of quality checks does it undergo?
See, it goes checks at every level. So, for example, when the chili is procured, whether they have been maintained, the quality standard has been done. When the consignment goes inside, what happens is that there are also lab tests which are done at a company level.
For every
At every level, there are tests.
right.
But having said this, there can also be issues like what we are seeing, what happened in the pilgrimage which is close to us, what happened in Tirumala. the ghee which is being used was completely adulterated.
Right. Nobody knew it.
It was so sad that an organization like TTD didn't have an equipment to test ghee,
True.
because they were taking ghee from reputed people like Nandini,
Right.
who are actually supplying good quality
Right.
ghee. And the moment some crooks wants to make profit, things will go out of control.
True. So this exactly was my next question. So when we blindly believe the quality checks that has happened at a manufacturing level, is the deficiencies happening only because the quality check is not happening at consumer end?
See, if you are picking a good branded product, I would say that. Uh, so let me just also say a word: brand. A brand over here is what you have seen that food product over a period of time where you trust that food product and you know that this has been the ones which is going on. For example, today you will see some of these edible oil firms putting this advertisement that have gone through 100 quality checks. Why they are um, why they are supposed to do this? Because there are certain packets which are available in the market which has not gone through these checks. A big brand will not be taking this risk, but there are quite a lot of run of the mill guys who come in today, put the stock, do trading, and just disappear tomorrow.
Correct.
Those things I can't guarantee how the quality would be. If it is from a reputed brand, for example, there was an instance where there was some adulteration which happened in Dara when Mr. Verghese Kurian was there. The moment Dara found this out, Mr. Kurian ensured that they came out with an advertisement that yes, there was some adulteration which happened into my product which was beyond our quality checks. We are actually learning from it and we will correct it. There are genuine people who come ahead and express.
Right.
But how many of them are like him? That's only a handful of industry players.
We do see a lot of roadside vendors, doing pakodas, or even top companies, like using oil, frequent
Rechurning.
kind of rechurning it and using the same amount of oil. What kind of an health impact would reusable oil cause on us?
See, I would first move away from reusable oil. First, I would say that our consumers don't even know what oil we should consume.
Yeah.
Should I consume sunflower oil? Should I consume groundnut oil? Should I consume
Olive oil.
sesame oil? Should
Olive
I
oil as
consume
well.
an olive oil and boil that olive oil to make pakodas at home?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Our consumers don't know because every oil has got its heat capacity,
Right.
which is meant for deep frying, which is meant for only garnishing.
Mhm.
I don't know. As a consumer, I don't know. If you are not in the industry, you are actually just going with advertisements. What you hear is what you believe.
Correct.
Today, in fact, when I started my journey in the FMCG industry, I've in fact seen oil being collected from a five-star hotel and the same oil being supplied on a roadside shop also
Right.
at a lower cost.
Right.
But that is not something which will happen in a consumer pack. But I'm saying that to that level, oil adulteration can happen.
Right.
And used oil from a star hotel, which they actually dispose it of, comes to the roadside shop rather than going for a proper disposal or recycle. In oil itself, for example, in a place like Bangalore, if you go, just go ahead and purchase till.
Okay.
I'm just giving an example. Just purchase till. Just see what is a kg of till. At least to make 1 liter of oil from a till, you would need at least some 2.5 kgs of till, or two and a quarter, or two and a half. Some of the sesame oil which is available in the market is cheaper than the till cost itself.
Exactly. How is that possible? Adulterations?
100% adulteration.
So there you cannot bring in this factor of mass production, right?
See, this is not a question of mass production.
Right.
Because I have seen, having worked in the edible oil industry, I have seen that there are pure olein which have been sold in packs, which is not good for consumption. in a market like Bangalore, where they think that okay, blue color packet is sunflower, so anything which comes in a blue color packet, I will pick it up. Before this regulation of standard 1 liter pack was removed by the government, there were packs available at 750 ml. There were packs which was available at 800 ml. Those guys who just come and dump the product into the market, at the end of the day, someone who is making 500, 600 rupees a day uh, uh, would be more happy to pick up something which is available to him.
Right.
Right. So talking about edible oil, is there a shelf life for companies to use or for vendors to use when they cook fried items? Is there kind of probably you just have to use the oil once or twice before you discard it off?
See, typically what happens is that most of the researchers says that you are not supposed to use the oil beyond one usage.
One usage.
So some of the large enterprises, what they do is that when the oil is getting used still, they have a filtered process so that they don't allow the oil to cool down.
Right.
Okay.
So it would be still considered as a one process.
But does that serve the purpose? Because the moment oil is heated, you're fried. Your assumption is some charred particles or adulteration.
See, what happens is that when the charred particles and all those ones, it goes through an immediate filtration.
Right.
Okay.
They don't filter it and store it. It goes through a cycle immediately. As the first batch is done, this process happens for the second batch.
Right.
But what happens is that if there is a gap between your first and second batch, then you can't use it. See, today, for example, you would have seen at home also, you might be doing some papad frying in the morning. And if there is a lot of oil which is left in the kadai,
They use it
most
for
of the home, what they will do is they will go in and put it in a jar
Yeah.
and say that for evening dosa, I will use this oil,
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
which is dangerous.
Correct.
Because you are allowing that oil
To cool down.
and then the molecules again cracks.
Right. So you're reheating it.
You're reheating it.
Right.
So reheating is
Not
not
recommended.
advisable. That is something that everyone is crying.
Right.
My question is that if you are reheating oil at home, then don't even speak about what oil am I using.
True.
If you don't know what oil you are buying, don't even ask about is this oil good or bad.
Talking of the main issue, why are we so attracted to junk foods that are coming in the packets? You having come from this food industry, is there a wing that really works on how to make this food more attractive to a consumer?
See, end of the day, a junk food, what do you call it as a junk food? Let me just put it in a way. Today, for example, if I eat a potato wafers, limited quantity, once in a week, I would say that it's okay. But if I eat that same potato wafers every day, 3 times a day, it becomes junk. Most of this starts with laziness. Today, I see when I actually send my son off to school, there are parents who come with a box, go to the nearby Darshini, take the food from the Darshini, pack it in the box, and give it as lunch to the kids. We are so lazy to get up 15 minutes early to prepare food. My question here is not whether the guy at home or the woman at home should prepare food or not. Both of them have got an equal responsibility for giving a quality food for their kids. If both of them wants to preserve their 15 minutes sleep and give a junk food in their dabbas, I don't know what to say. Second one is that quite a lot of times kids love these things, and especially when you say that no, eat this less, that's when they think that okay, there is something which I need to try more.
Right.
Do you consume ice cream?
Yeah, we do.
Do you like vanilla ice cream?
Yeah.
Do you know whether the vanilla ice cream that you eat has got vanilla essence or pure vanilla? What I call it as a natural identical vanilla essence or pure vanilla?
No. How do we find that out?
You can just read the ingredients itself.
Oh.
It mentions
It
that
mentions,
it is essence.
it says that natural identical flavoring. It
Mm.
mentions very clearly in that, but we don't read it.
Right.
The other question is that, yeah, the vanilla pots are expensive.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if you look into our old system, what they say is that consume vegetables and fruits which are grown in your vicinity.
Mhm.
Because those are all the ones which actually are grown in your area and you know that it will grow in your climate. But what we do is that in the name of purchasing exotic things, we actually ignore the local ones and see it as these are crappy ones. And I go for exotic things. The exotic things come at a cost. The same way, junk food is something I would say that parents need to wake up. Kids should be taught. And if you
But
do,
is there a wing like that where food scientists actually work on how to make the food more addictive? Just like how today we know
the way you look at the ice creams,
right?
if you've seen an ice cream ad, they use a cream to make an ice cream ad, which looks wow. And the kid, once your eyes see that in a particular format. So today, for example, if I'm relishing a particular food, that actually triggers your brain cell.
Right.
So communication plays a very vital role in terms of enticing and making consumers to go and pick it up.
Pick it up.
Right.
Yeah.
So being from marketing, I would not say that that's everyone's job.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying again and again, read the ingredients. Not everyone uses the best of the lot to give you. Everyone goes with the cost versus the benefit.
Right.
But at least, are you eating the safe ones is something that you need to answer. People also consume frozen desserts.
Mhm.
They are not, that is not ice cream, that is frozen dessert. But how many of us know that whether are we consuming ice cream or frozen
So
desserts?
the difference is that whether it was based off milk product or just
Vegetable fat.
vegetable fat.
So we, a few years ago, we were talking about, there was a big gungo about Maggi, okay, monosodium glutamate. So how does monosodium glutamate impact health, and has it been approved by regulators? Whereas in many of the European countries, there is, some kind of a negativity about monosodium glutamate usage.
Let me take a step back before coming into MSG on their usage. MSG is sold in India legally.
Okay.
If you feel that MSG is bad, then ban it.
Mhm.
If you are allowed to sell MSG, then you can't control the usage. Because one is that it gives you in fried rice in my hostel and all, they used to add MSG because it gives you that different
Taste.
enhancing taste with a light salty flavor which is addictive.
Right.
Okay.
And
Right.
it
That
also
salty
forms,
flavor.
and
Right.
it also gives that sheen on top of the food.
Right.
Because whenever they used to make biryani, which is an oxymoron, because some of us use only veg biryani, some of them use proper biryani. Without MSG, biryani was never made in our hostels.
Oh.
So it is a food enhancer. It is available in the market, and people do add it. Quite a lot of Chinese foods,
Right.
all those things has got the taste enhancers.
Right. They call it Ajinomoto.
The manufacturer is Ajinomoto.
Right.
He's a Japanese FMCG major.
Right.
So it has become like Xerox in India.
Okay.
So
but
a
but is
photocopy.
that banned in countries other than India?
See, certain countries don't use it. For example, certain countries don't allow TBHQ to be used in oil. We
Right.
use TBHQ in oil.
Okay.
So as long as it is in the prescribed limit, as long it doesn't cross that safety
Limits.
levels, it's fine. But if you ask me, would you give MSG to your kid? I will not give. There is a Tamil saying which says that alavukku meerinal amritamum nanju.
Yeah.
That means after a point in time, even if you are given what do you call that, the most sacred of sacred
Amrit.
things of Amrit, if you take beyond a prescribed limit, it is poisonous.
Yeah.
Just because Someone says that no, eating jaggery is good for diabetic rather than sugar. Your palm jaggery has got a glycemic index of 35. Your normal jaggery has got somewhere in the range of 84 to 90, and sugar is somewhere around 65. All the three will increase the sugar level in your body. But it is up to you to see that how much you are consuming if you are not able to control your mouth.
Right.
Or if you are not able to walk or physically exert to keep yourself fit. Just because you are eating jaggery, it is not good. Just because you are eating sugar, it is not bad.
Exactly.
So, my genuine submission would be there are two sides to a coin, and everything is not black and white. There are a lot of things which are in gray. If you are worried about your health, please know what you are eating. Please read what you are eating.
So it's easy to blame the packaged or food industry rather than correcting yourself.
I might not consume a locally available guava, but I might be interested in consuming a dragon fruit or a kiwi fruit for its own benefit.
Right.
A kiwi fruit and a dragon fruit is not meant for your lifestyle.
Okay.
Yes, it might be good, it might have got antioxidants, it might have certain good things, but start eating locally produced fruits. And a city like Bangalore, the locally produced has disappeared.
Totally.
Even in the places which are meant for farms, now I see high-rise buildings over there. After a point in time, you can't eat pills, you can't eat money. You need good food for you to have a healthy life.
Totally.
And the easiest villain which we can make is processed food. No one is asking you to eat processed food every day.
Right.
Know how much you can eat and what you can consume. It can't be everything, can't sit with government regulation, everything can't sit with manufacturers. As a consumer, there are responsibilities for them to abide by.
Right.
So do you think, with 1.3 billion population, the food regulation has to be a lot stricter compared to, European countries or American?
See, like I mentioned, the best example would be the ORS drink. Where everyone knows that it is a crime.
Yeah.
But the food regulator didn't do anything.
Mhm.
Or it takes a lot of time before they realize.
I would not say it will take a lot of time. As long as it is not affecting me, I will allow it to function.
Right.
Correct. So being an organic farmer, author or consultant in this space, if you have to give three pieces of advice to our viewers, what would it be?
And one of it has to be if you were at a position where you could change anything that is happening at this packaged food industry.
Don't get carried away with your Instagram and WhatsApp messages which are
Perfect.
flooding you.
Right.
Okay. Today, if I open something,
Mhm.
I am actually mapped and I get more and more messages on that subject only.
Right.
And without doing a proper consultation, whether you practice homeopathy or Ayurveda or allopathy, without taking a proper guidance, don't assume things and follow it yourself. Your doctor Google is not going to help you on your health. Yes, sometimes AI will be able to diagnose certain things because it has got more amount of data with them. But you need to know what you should follow. That would be the first thing. Don't make internet your health companion or doctor. Second one is that read thoroughly what you are consuming.
Correct.
The ingredients.
The ingredients.
Even if it has a lot of numbers mentioned, AZ506, something like that, emulsifiers.
Just go ahead and check what is that preservative. Nothing is unavailable or inaccessible to a person.
Right.
So read what you are consuming. Third one would be if something is available at a dirt cheap price, there is a cost attached to that.
Right.
Buy one, get one. or something which is available at a cheaper cost has got its own baggage. So think wisely on what you are consuming. Just because someone is selling a same product at X, someone is selling the same product at Y, you need not decide between X and Y. Okay, expensive one is good or the cheap one is bad. Do your homework, check thoroughly before you eat.
Totally agree.
So this is all at the consumer level. What about at the production level? If you had the power to change something, be it quality control or choosing your ingredients, what would you change in today's food and beverage industry?
See, in certain places, everyone wants to consume a healthy product,
Mhm.
but there is also the cost at which you can consume a healthy product.
Right.
If I'm making certain changes, and if the cost goes up to 100, for example, I might not be in a position to afford that product.
Right.
So manufacturers are making what is the best, because
Balance.
at the end of the day, only 7 to 8% of the Indian consumers can afford expensive things.
Right.
93% of the consumers are still in the mass or in the masstige segment.
Right.
So affordability plays a very, very important role.
Right.
So for example, even in the insurance industry, if you go out and ask any of the insurance agents today, can you give me an 1 lakh rupee insurance? They will say that I don't have.
Yeah.
They will say that it starts at 5 lakhs.
Right.
There are certain people who don't even need a 5 lakh rupee insurance.
Right.
There are certain people who don't even have an insurance. At the end of the day, what has happened is that you are giving a forced product to them. Someone who is sitting in a tier 3 town or in a village who has not even visited a proper hospital, for them a 2 lakh insurance is
Probably
still
sufficient.
a sufficient one. But the agents or the companies are just pushing 5 lakhs. Guys, at the end of the day, you also need to check it out at what level certain things will work, certain things will not work. At the end of the day, you need to see things from the consumer lens.
Right.
Read thoroughly. Don't get moved by tempting advertisement. Being a marketeer, yes, their job is to, or my job is to bring out with a tempting advertisement. But you need to know that whether you need or not. You don't
And
need.
how often do you need?
Yeah, the perfect example could be even because I have 4 dogs in my farm. A dog never told me that whether this particular dog food is something that I love or not.
Right.
I decide on the dog food for my dog. How do you know that if it is extremely good? If you change also, the dog will like certain flavors.
Right.
A dog food is decided by a human who don't even eat it and purchases for his dog. The same way we do multiple things in life. So the first question always starts from us. Are we doing something right? Am I actually doing something right? So if someone needs to be blamed, it is not the packaged food, it is the consumer.
Today's episode was not about fear, it was more about awareness. Please do subscribe and follow Oncoflix. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you.